I think I've probably caught another server crash in 4K. Ain't nothing suspicious about server crashing, but I caught another one in 4K again by checking the... Because one of those guys just checked AHSL logs and they goddamn just crashed the server with it. I don't know why, but it's not even server-based. I really found out why they ain't loading suspicious stuff. But this time, this is another vulnerability they found. Jorvinark 245 is possibly going to be the 9th DXFC in Amon House, but not crashing the servers. So, someone checked the AHSL logs. Like, the command went through, but the server goddamn crashed because AHSL logs. And this ain't a server conflict at all. No one isn't any loading the build that isn't crashing the goddamn server. There's no guys with black F3X at all. So, like, all these ain't suspicious. They didn't have set anchored on or set anchored commands running. But when you check the AHSL logs, there's one vulnerability found in when you check AHSL logs. It crashes the goddamn servers! And you possibly know why it crashes the goddamn servers. Well, it crashes the goddamn servers because the goddamn game can't even find it. And if I believe how the server is really crashed, it's because we have this set on console. Failed to load sound http www.roblox.com/asset/ID equals nil http 404 not found. And during that, we have ended up having this because the goddamn server crashed by AHSL logging AHSL logs. And you know that 2 people just entered, so 2 people included, so this guy would be called number 4, and I would be called number 3. So number 4 entered AHSL logs, so it's that blue chat log thing. Then the yellow thing, otherwise known as Harley 2011, which is number 3, checked AHSL logs too. They believed to really crash the server by really checking AHSL logs. This is a bug or vulnerability found in the Amon House 3.5.10 update that crashes the goddamn servers when you check AHSL logs. Because AHSL logs probably fills up so much in the stuff that it probably crashes the servers for like a little bit of time or something, or there's probably a vulnerability going around in the Amon House 3.5.10 update because the game has updated recently, like yesterday. So I'm finding out that there's vulnerabilities checking something that goddamn crashes a server when you check something. This can't just be a bug. So in the chat logs over there, so this guy just put AHSL logs. They checked it. Goddamn crashed the server by putting the command in. But when I checked it too, it probably crashed the servers. And I'm probably realising, what the hell happened to the goddamn server? That couldn't be internet because it's not happening. It's just the goddamn servers that are occurring this thing. It's just a server vulnerability found in the Amon House 3.5.10 update that crashes the goddamn servers, or almost does, or actually does crash the servers. So when you check for AHSL logs, it probably most likely be filled up with lots of crap in the pages, like 300 to 600 pages in the AHSL logs. When you check that, all 600 pages of the AHSL logs would be checked, ending up taking probably more than like 600 probably like between like either like usually 180 to 300 seconds of time. But over here, they crashed the server by all they had to do was check AHSL logs. However, when you check AHSL logs in the other servers, they do not crash. So, the vulnerability is that the pages either would have been filled like either between 300 and 600, sometimes maybe 1200 to 2400, or maybe 3000 pages of AHSL logs to crash the goddamn servers. Because the last thing in the chat logs cache was AHSL logs. And the vulnerability was they crashed the goddamn servers by doing AHSL logs. So like AHSL logs crashing that goddamn server. And this is a new vulnerability found in the House 3.5.10 update that was only released on. So the new thing was that the game was last updated like yesterday. And I think that turned out to be a vulnerability found when you check AHSL logs, or the server's been left on for like a long time or so. But the server ain't ran for a long time. The server has only just been ran for like 2 hours. So I'm probably thinking they also just checked the AHSL logs. And I think the AHSL logs probably had like over like 2,000 or 3,000 pages at some point, where it started crashing the goddamn servers, usually taking 3 to 6 minutes to load in here. So like it took 5 minutes to like so like disconnected me, and then it disconnected me for just around 5 minutes and 32 seconds, and the server just crashed. I don't think no one ain't gonna realise if you check AHSL logs, they're gonna crash the goddamn servers if you check it. Which is a new vulnerability found in the House update that was released yesterday. So, hopefully, they'll fix that micro bug in the game. And hopefully, if the bugs are fixed, then we should be seeing a new update at this rate. But the update hasn't even been released. So this can't be the Wi-Fi doing this, because I have really good internet. It's just the server's fault for just checking stuff that takes a really, really long time to find. So, like, if it's like 1,000 pages, it would like usually take 100 seconds, but 3,000 is like 3 minutes or something. So I'm thinking like 3,000 pages of AHSL logs would have crashed the server, and it's true. They are actually crashing the server. So I think something weird in vulnerabilities are happening when something crashes the server. So one of those guys just checked AHSL logs, and I think the server crashed. And the reason why the server crashed is probably because there's 3,000 pages in the AHSL logs which can't be checked in a full way, either causing their devices or the server just to crash or lag, which is a vulnerability found in the House release date of updates in the March 13th, 2026, which is known for a vulnerability found in the server crashing when you check some AHSL logs and stuff. Anyways, like and subscribe, turn on notifications. See you next time in the next House videos.